In this session, what we are going to do is very simple thing. That is, what this students who have cleared the mains, what they should do ideally. Second is the students who are not cleared, what can they do? This is what we are going to focus mainly upon, right? So for that, what I am trying to do, is it resonating? Is it resonating? Hi, Anna. Clearly? Right. So, so there are three categories of the students. One, who are writing the means on 22nd of August. Correct? 22nd of the August. This is the one category of the students. Second category of the students is the students who have just completed their basic classes as of now and they want a roadmap till December. The third category of the students is basically the one who are just ongoing classes, just started the preparation. So these are the three categories of the students that what we have, and each one of them have only one thing in common, that is a static time period. Example. So out of these three categories of the students, I will focus mainly upon basically this category of the students. Manju sir will speak about the first, that is what is the thing, or I will also give some idea that today is basically so called as 12th of June. So let us consider June, July and August. So to tell essentially the students who are writing the mains, you are having precisely and exactly 70 days. Am I right? Each day average, the students who are writing the mains, what they should do and how they should plan is completely in a reverse engineering manner. How? Daily, you can prepare maximum for 11 to 12 hours. 11 to 12 hours. If you consider 12 hours of your preparation per day, you are going to have something called as 840 hours. 840 hours cumulatively from today till so called as 22nd of August. That is your means. Am I right? This is the only static thing that is going to remain with you. Everything will change. You have to do everything, GS vagera. Now in this 840 hours, what you have to do, I will just write. First, you have to do general studies preparation, paper 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1. Second is your essay. Third is your optional paper 1, optional paper 2. Okay. Now, these are the three components that what you do. But isme there are three more components. Those are first, that is none other than your so-called as current affairs. Okay. 1. Second is revision. And third is test. Logical? These are the 6 major components which you have to do it at any cost in 840 hours. The students who are writing the mains examination. Ideally speaking, in 840 hours, you should be writing at least, let us consider if you are writing the number of the test that you are going to write for GS paper 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let us assume every paper you will write 2 sectional tests and 1 comprehensive test. 2 sectional tests, 2 sectional tests, 2 and 2 sectional tests with 1 comprehensive test. That is 3 tests per paper. That those are nothing but 12 tests. 12 tests. And essay, let us assume that you will write minimum 6. Correct? Same for optional paper 1, section A ka 1 test, section B second test, comprehensive paper 1 test, same another 6 test for the optional paper. That is 6 test. So that is total 24 tests you have to write at any cost. Am I right? 24 to 30. You have to write it. Let us assume you are writing 25 tests. 25 tests is none other than basically 3 hours. That is 75 hours you have to invest in the test at any cost. Without that, on this day, you will not able to write, take it in writing from me. I hope you are understanding. So out of 840 hours, basically if I am right, इसमें से 75 hours तो चला गया. I will say मोटा माटी 80 hours are gone. Correct? So out of this 840, I am just trying to divide it. Out of this 840, let us consider 80 is for what? Test. Minimum time, you can write more also. I am saying minimum. Okay? This is what reverse engineering does. Test सबसे पहले किया. Now imagine one subject, Manju will be discussing GS2. GS paper 3, if I speak, you are having 6 subjects. In GS paper 2, you are having 3 major aspects, right? 6 major subjects: economy, environment, disaster management, internal security, science and tech. If you keep on reading, it will take a lot of time. Am I right? Logical speaking. So now, in GS paper 3, you should try to cover every paper within 60 hours, maximum 60 hours. 60, 60, 60 or 60. Am I right? Comprehensive coverage of each and every point of the syllabus with PYQs and integration of the current affairs of every paper. Why I am giving this much hour? Because this is constant. Only thing that is constant from today, that is 12th of June till something called as 22nd of August, is something called as this much hours. What can be increased with respect to this 70 days? You can increase the time. How much it can be increased? Maximum to 850 or 870 hours. इससे ऊपर नहीं होता. मतलब effective hours. Am I right? Especially I am focusing upon the students who are writing this year mains. Manju is focusing upon the students also. Correct? So let me first dwell with these students. So out of this 60, 60, 60, that is 240 hours will be gone for general studies preparation. It has to go, right? So second component out of this 840 is 250 hours for general studies का preparation, that is reading. ये preparation नहीं है, ये reading है. GS all reading component. Correct? Now, if I say revision component of the same notes that what you have. Now tell me, here problem क्या होता है? If you are not having precise notes of social justice and governance, right? You will not know what to read. Transparency, accountability कहाँ से पढ़ूँ मैं, right? If you are not having the notes with respect to GS paper 1 or with respect to GS paper 3, Indian economy and associated issues respected to planning, mobilization of the resources, right? Employment. If you are not having that, how can you revise and how can you prepare that? If you are not knowing कि in complete GSP paper 3, there are only 4 questions on internal security. There are 4 questions on agriculture which you neglect, and where analytical abilities are needed. For that, you should have holistic understanding plus micro notes which can be helpful for revision. Generally, if you are having notes with you and if you are continuously reading and underlining the basic points, then the time required to revise your handwritten notes is basically almost 20% of the time. Logical? So what I mean, if you are having 60 hours of the classes are done, example, and if you are having the notes, let us consider 200 page notes or 250 pages ka notes, example. I'm just giving scientific way, yeah? 250 pages handwritten notes. 1 hour mein maximum you can read 12 pages handwritten notes, handwritten. For example, if you have attended Manju Sir ka classes, what are the notes that he dictates in the classes? You can read 12 pages, that is 6 pages back to back. How many are the total pages? 250 pages. That means how much hours you will need to read basically 250 pages? You will need how much time? It is almost about 12 hours. Am I right? So an average revision के लिए another 10, 10, 10 or 12 hours. 12 for the 48, 50 hours I am giving for revision. What will be done? You guys neglect GS paper 4. You guys neglect essay. Correct? So basically I am giving almost about, let us consider 50 hours for revision of GS paper 1, 2, 3 and 4. Am I right? Correct? Now coming to the most important point which is neglected by the aspirants, essay paper. Essay paper is also of 250 marks. Correct? Yesterday I was going through the certain, I would say, the toppers marks. The scores that they have received in essay paper is 138, 125, वगैरह वगैरह. In GS paper 2, as Manju Sir was telling me, students are scoring 120 plus, who are not knowing the right keywords, right way to answer the things. Now, if you are not having that, the amount of the score, the edge that you are going to get in the mains examination will decline. That is why the chances to clear this examination will decline. Example, let us assume if the cutoff is basically 800, right, and you are writing the mains as of now. But if you are not able to complete the paper, if you are not writing the good answers, then with respect to mains cutoff, your edge will be maximum 10 to 20 marks. That means in interview you have to get 180 marks minimum to just enter into final list. So you should take the edge in mains only, because mains is the actual examination. So most of the students who are not clear this examination right now, don't consider this as a honeymoon period, that is from June to December. It is the actual time when actual preparation of the UPSC takes place. I hope you're understanding. It is very, very clear, because imagine if you're writing this examination, you have to prepare in this 3 months as if you are really writing on 22nd of August. Then only you will understand what are the flaws in my preparation. Whether I am really able to revise GS paper 1 in 50 hours, whether I am able to revise GS paper 2 in 50 hours, yes or no. If you are not, then nothing will happen. So that is why for essay, I personally feel you should give another minimum 50 hours for the essay, because it is a 250 marks paper. So if you just count it, it is about 350 plus 80, that is about 430. Am I right? Now, other than this, now comes the major part, that is none other than optional. Correct? Optional has basically 500 marks weightage. Correct? 500 marks weightage. Whatever the total amount of the notes that what you have with respect to optional, you will be having handwritten maximum 1000 to 1200 pages ka notes hona chahiye, handwritten. And you should refer to the standard books, because just taking the notes of or borrowing the notes of some other person is not converting into the marks in the recent times. You should be having that type of analytical skills, right? For optional, I personally feel you have to devote another 250 to 300 hours. Am I right? Correct? So basically, if you just count all this, that is 500, 600, 680 hours. One component is major component that is still remaining. But here in this GS preparation, for example, when we take intensive bridge course, we are integrating each and every current affair in this GS paper 2 and GS paper 3, GS paper 1, 4. For example, just now GS 2 was completed by Manjunath sir. He integrated all the major governance related issues, polity related issues within. He completed everything within 9 days. Getting the point? Similarly, I will be dealing with GS paper 3, which starts on 14th of June, within 60 to 70 days, 70 hours. 10 days mein pura khatam hoga. Logical? Now, current affair is integrated, but you will also need some time to basically revise it. So, uska bhi component hai, current affairs. Current affairs is most important for two major subjects, that is none other than paper 2 and paper 3. Am I right? Paper 2 and paper 3. Correct? Because most of you finally refer to Insights Mains 365 compilation or any other institute. Am I right? But kitna hota hai pages Mains 365 compilation? Almost this much big. You will take time. So for reading that also you will take time. Let us assume for current affairs, you need something called as basically 100 hours. Maximum 100 hours. Correct? You should not allocate this much, but rather I would say this is the ideal thing that should happen. So if you calculate all of this thing together, that is 250 plus 250, 500, 600, 680, 780. So 780 hours, correct, will be there. Logical? You can reduce a time on current affairs by another 20, 30, I would say hours, and you can do something called as second or third revision. Correct? Because already here I have given the time for revision. Already I have allocated time for the test. Already I have allocated time for the current affairs and basically GS. Am I right? Ideally, the students who are writing this examination, keep in mind what I have seen the students. हाँ sir, I have everything ready. मेरा पूरा हो चुका है, मेरे पास है. What is only one thing that is constant is none other than from 12th of June, that is from today, your examination will 100% take place on 22nd of August. This time period is the only constant that what we have. Am I right? Am I right? आपके पास सिर्फ 850 hours है जिंदगी के, where you can make or break. What I have seen the students doing, they get lost in this GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4 and optional paper also. Why? I will just tell you one simple example. GS paper 1, how many questions are there? 20. Out of 20, 9 questions are from geography, 4 to 5 questions are from society, 6 questions are from history. Now history में कितना subjects है? Another 4. Ancient, art and culture, modern, post independence, world history. हो गए 5. Getting the point? How are you going to cover that in this much time? We know it. What to study, what not to study. 6 major subjects in GS paper 3. How to do it in this much time? We know it. I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say, that this is where the expertise come into the role. I hope you got it. For example, let us consider GS paper 2, which is mammoth of 250 marks. Students who have attended Manjunath Sarka classes were able to complete it in 9 days. He made them to sit daily for 8 hours. But ho gaya na pura khatam. Now they are ready with this GS paper 2. Now what they have is his handwritten 250 pages notes. What they need is just 12 hours to revise this. That's it. And what uske upar karna hai unko? What they have to do? They have to write test, 3 tests, baat khatam. Am I right? In the same way, the rest of the students should do. They should plan in the right way. What happens? I will tell you. You have a still mindset that optional mein I will get 310, 300. Gone are those days. Irrespective, on the mic I am telling, anthro ka bhi zamana gaya. There are still results from anthro 290 plus, rarest of rare case, just like Supreme Court judgment, sir. Right? Gaya 290 plus in any optional. 260, if you are getting the 260, 270, matlab you are doing very good. But to get 260 or 270, you should be very strategic. What you guys do, first thing, you allocate maximum time for the optional. Optional is of 500 marks. Am I right? Optional is of 500 marks. This is of 1250 marks. Ideally, time should be 2.5 times more given to this. Correct? What do we do? Daily we are studying for 12 hours. Usme se 6 hours optional, 6 hours GS, 50-50. Why is this time splitting itself is incorrect? Am I right? देखो ना ये 1250 marks का paper है. In this, why this happening? Because we completely neglect this paper, guys. This paper is 100% neglected. Why? Rangamanju got 138. That is about 140 marks. 140 marks in essay paper. कितना ज़्यादा होता है समझ रहे हो आप? ऑप्शनल में 120 लाना भी इतना पढ़ना पड़ता है. essay में लाया 140. What I want to tell here, make a point is, this is now a game changer. Trust me, guys. इसमें average is basically 250 to 270, 100%. And this I am telling it on the basis of analysis of this year marks, nothing else. But for that, you should be very strategic in this preparation. You should know what to prepare, how much to prepare, and from where to prepare. Because the syllabus is very vast, very comprehensive, very dynamic. You will need 100% expert guidance, and at that time comes the role of the mentors. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? For example, the students who are not writing will not understand this, but students who are writing this year means उनको पता है मेरे दिमाग पे क्या क्या करूँ मैं. भाई सर इतना बड़ा है, मैं क्या करूँ इसमें से, अभी मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. मेरा तो प्रिपेयर्ड है सर, पॉलिटी मेरा प्रिपेयर्ड है, लेकिन यू आर प्रिपेयर्ड पॉलिटी फ्रॉम प्रिलिम्स पर्सपेक्टिव. दे आर नॉट आस्किंग फ्रॉम प्रिलिम्स पर्सपेक्टिव नाउ. मीन्स लिखना है, आर्ग्यूमेंट लिखना है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट लिखना है, जीएस पेपर 3 में इकोनॉमिक सर्वे लिखना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल AI with respect to employment, whether it is a boon or a bane, this is a chapter in an economic survey. क्या लिखोगे? इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में एक चैप्टर है AI and digitalization, whether it is a boon or a bane, and उसके ऊपर पूरा है. If I ask you to write the answer within 7 minutes now, 10 markers के लिए, कुछ लिख पाओगे? कैसे लिखोगे? For this you need analysis. Correct? If I speak about agriculture, tell me how is MSP distorting the cropping pattern in India? Tell me with the case studies. लिख पाओगे? बेसिक्स लिख पाओगे? हाँ सर MSP मुझे पता है, बेसिकली इंसेंटिव गिवन बाय द गवर्नमेंट 24 क्रॉप्स के लिए है, खरीफ एंड रबी, डिसाइडेड बाय CSEAP रिकमेंड, CCEA फाइनलाइज करता है. अरे वो थोड़ी लिखेगा. क्वेश्चन क्या है? हाउ इज इट डिस्टॉर्शनरी, विच क्रॉप्स, वेयर, व्हाई, हाउ इट कैन बी रिड्यूस्ड. करेक्ट? समझ में आ रहा है आपको मुझे? दैट मीन्स एवरी सब्जेक्ट हैव इट्स यूनिक डिमांड which you should understand. Especially this is for the students which are having only 850 hours who are writing this year means, right? So first, when I started to sum up, when I started this session, I have divided the students into three categories. One, who are writing this year means, about whom I am right now speaking about. Second is the students who are basically going to complete or who have completed the basic classes, who have their foundation done well, but till December what should they do ideally? Manjunath sir will speak about this. But speaking about these guys who are right now, उनके पास एक ही thing constant है, that trust me guys, that is 850 hours. If you are not knowing how to use it, you are out of the race. Getting the point. पूरा उल्टा सोचो, मेरे पास इतना ही टाइम है. Ideally you can read this much only because this will not change, right? Am I right? The students who are writing the mains, where are you? Are you here? इतना ही constant है ना आपके पास भैया. So basically इसको कैसे divide करोगे? For example, if you are doing this on your own, then it is a nightmare for you. I hope you are understanding. So please make help of the faculties. They will literally help you what to do and what not to do. Is it clear? If you have any doubt related to your, especially related to GS paper 3, you are free to message me at this Telegram ID. Okay, where G and A is capital. These two are capital. Is it clear? I will be here only, but let Manjunath sir speak about this second category of the students, and then again we will discuss finally what to be done and how language is brought into the answer writing. Let Manjunath sir speak about this. I hope you got the idea about this. What should you do? Again I am revising, summing it up. Students who are writing this means you are having 6 things to do. 1, GS का पूरा preparation. Second, essay. मतलब total 5 GS papers है. Consider 5 GS papers. Second, your optional. Third, current affair revision test. You have limited time. Divide it now only. Depending upon this division, you will have your own strength and weaknesses. You will be having your own notes. So depending upon that, calculate the time. If the syllabus is not completed from the mains perspective, please, I will emphasize that you do join intensive bridge course. Also, the students who are not writing this time, definitely it will be helpful for the next time. Trust me on this, because to cover this, it will take a long time. After that, I will emphasize the students to write a lot, essay and test. Is it clear? So, this is how the time division, if you are doing it, because this much is the only constant, that is why I am asking you to do that. That is why I have done this with respect to total time. I have taken the time and the total number of the hours. This is the ideal strategy which I followed during my mains preparation, which have really yielded me a good result, which helped me to confine myself in a right way. Are you understanding it? For this, we are with you in the form of basically intensive bridge course. Please do see the orientation session, you will get an idea. Is it clear?